All right. Well, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. In case I don't see you later, good night. It's your old friend Tiberius here, back with another couple videos for you. Today's video, we're going to talk about the brand new arc that just launched today. Hang on one second. Get up and go in here. Thank you for joining the channel. If you're watching live on Twitch, or if you're catching the replay of this on YouTube, I do move all my content over there so you can find it and watch it later. Just make sure and hit that follow button so that way you subscribe, follow, either or, just so you know when I've got new content available. I always appreciate the feedback in the comments, both in the Twitch chat and on YouTube. Try to answer everybody as best I can. So enjoy engaging with you guys. Enjoy talking about Star Trek Fleet Command. And we got a bunch of stuff to talk about because it's a new monthly battle pass, right? It's a new story arc. And it's the Ferengi. We thought we were getting DS9. We hoped we were getting DS9, I should say. Obviously, those in the know knew we weren't, but, they tried to drop little hints about Devores and Latinum minings, which led us to Quark, but then we thought, well, Quark's part of Deep Space Nine, right? So, no, this is pre Deep Space Nine Quark. This is Quark when he was still, you know, doing all his scoundrel type work running around the galaxy. So, we got the rules of acquisition. Is it 3 months? Is it 4 months? It hasn't been announced anywhere that I've seen yet. I'll have to assume it's 3 months. I can't imagine that they have that much content with these just handful of Ferengi officers that they can stretch it out that far. Um, maybe we get a few others. You get the Grand Nagus maybe, or Brunt from the FCA that they'll filter in, or some of his cousin who runs weapons, right? I think Quark had, we learned that on Deep Space Nine. Um, and a few of his other guys he put together when they went on their rescue mission to rescue his mom from the Jem'Hadar. So maybe we'll get a few more of those guys to kind of flush out this little officer pack here. But we've got our monthly battle pass, and there's not as much alternative stuff in it this month. It's not an arc, so they're not giving you additional credits and things like that. It's not an event store of final arc, so it's your major resources, two, three, four of each. Yeah, four of each, progressively getting larger and larger each time. So you get 12 days. There's 20 total, 12 milestones that are just straight resources. So just your dilithium gas, ore, and tritanium, and then you've got, I'm sorry, tritanium and crystal, and then you've got ore and par steel, progressively getting larger here. A couple of officer shards, a little bit of the trait XP rewards. It's nice, they're always kind of given one of these. It seems like in every battle pass because there aren't really any other way to get assignment speed ups anymore. You get the 1 hour speed ups in for doing your daily along with the trait XP. But as we've shown in other videos, this is 1% of what you need to max one epic officer. It's like 323,000 points to max out one epic officer. So, with all their traits, and there's, half a dozen epic officers that you want multiples of their traits, especially, for the good away team missions, it's their tier 2 and their tier 3 traits. So you're, you know, 50, 70,000 invested in that officer just to get that tier 3 trait unlocked. And then you have to get it up a couple levels to actually improve that critical hit percentage. We do get uncommon event tickets, some independent credits. These are the mission passes, which also come with some faction credits. Overall, not a. It's a pretty just standard. Here's a bunch of resources for you to build stuff with, kind of battle pass. And then of course you've got additional amounts in the elite pack, whether you spend the $20 or the $100 to unlock that. But if you're looking at, all right, so I get 9 million and 116 in the free pass. I do get more now in the elite pack. Some of them, a couple of times, it had been close to the same or slightly lower actually in the bottom half. People were complaining about that, like I'm paying money for extra stuff and you're giving me Not even like a full upgrade compared to what we were getting in the top half. So looks like they've tweaked that a little bit. There's also some Syndicate XP that's down here in a couple of spots to help speed that along because that takes forever. At 250 points a day or 200 points a day or whatever level you're at, obviously it scales. I just hit milestone 10 yesterday. So now, but when this went up at tier 9 here, it went up from 200 to 250, but I need 15,000. So, I mean, that's what, 2 months to get through this whole level and get to the next one. So, thankfully, they are giving that out, it seems like, in the Battle Pass. And then again, it's just more rare Armada credits are also, we were required to use an abundance of these last time. So here's 70 apiece down here. So that's 210. That'll get you one extra Armada, and you'll have 10 left over. So the battle pass has got some decent stuff in it. For 20 bucks, that's not a bad second half here. Getting some officer ultra recruit credits, getting some syndicate XP, getting a lot of resources to build and upgrade stuff. Which, as you get higher and higher into the game, the costs get ridiculous. And then you got our new officers, which we'll take a quick peek at. They are all related to mining. We've got Fess, who's the first officer that they've introduced in the game who actually has a negative officer ability. This is pretty cool. Protected cargo reduced by 30%. And then obviously as you tier him up, that number gets smaller. It goes down progressively 5%, I think, each tier. So he gets down to about 10% by the time you max him out. But he improves mining speed when he's captain. Quark improves mining speed as an officer, boosts protected cargo as a captain, and the other guy, Arok here, improves mining speed as his officer ability, and then he boosts concentrated latinum, which is our new event, our new node, our new ship that they put into the game that they just added because war is good for business, right? So we needed a new Devore. That was what we were all missing. That's what was missing from our lives was a new Devore, and they gave it to us. So currently scrapping is my old Devore. I've got 9 hours left to go. It's if you have a tier 9 Devore, we'll look at this. Oops, while we're doing that, thinking about this. Hang on. Let's pull. Let's do our second refines for the day. I need to mine some crystal. Been a little busy today. Let's get these out of the way before my timers get all messed up and then I wake up tomorrow morning and I've got nothing to do. And then I go to work and then I forget about it. 7, 7, 7, 7. It's amazing you can get anything done in this game when they just give you stuff 7 points at a time. Alright. And all those survey parts. So they added the new concentrated latinum nodes and the new blueprints right here for the Fuchsia. You need to get 120 blueprints. You get these blueprints by scrapping your old one or buying it. If you have the tier 9 Devore and you get it up to level 41, you don't need to push it all the way to 45. So if you just happen to hit it along the way, if you're tier 8 now and you're like, all right, let me spend the parts, let me upgrade it, you only need to get it to level 41 and then you can scrap it. That'll give you enough coins here, whatever these are, data cores, that you can then unlock the new ship, which is used to mine the new concentrated latinum nodes. And these latinum nodes give you an additional refine for latinum. And again, like the original Devore, this scales per tier of the ship. You've got a decent chance to get parts per refine. I'm sure it'll cost you a whole bunch of parts to upgrade, much like the Devore does, and you'll get through the first tier or two fairly quickly. It does look like this ship does go up to tier 12, from what I'm hearing, which is pretty awesome. But what you also have to keep in mind is that there is a bit of a level curve to it. Um, you have to be level 35 to build this ship, so if you're under level 35, you don't need to worry about this stuff for a while. Um, and this content, you'll get to it eventually. After you can get through the first few tiers, I think up to like tier 5, and then you have to be like level 40 or 41, and then you can go another 5 tiers up to like tier 10. But you can't get to like tier 11 or tier 12, the final tier, uh, until your ops like 50 or 51. I believe is what the other content creators were saying. They've got the insider knowledge. I was trying to pay attention to DJ when he was talking last night. I think that's what he said. But that is what this new ship is all about. It is strictly for. Let's see if it's here. This is where it is. 35s. 35s. Did I miss it? Let's go by survey ship. There's the amalgam. There it is. Went right by it. So this is 35,000% mining bonus for concentrated latinum. Concentrated latinum was introduced into the game in a variety of systems that are level 35 and higher. So if you're looking at your map, it's not in any of these lower level systems, and they did not replace Suliban. It's all up in the higher level systems. Some not in deep space, as you can see here, in like Sirius and Wolf. Um, so now you can get, if you ported your base out here, you could get regular latinum and concentrated latinum. And then you've got the new concentrated latinum nodes that I'm sure people have jammed up quite a bit. A regular mining ship, does like a couple hundred. A regular Devore does not do well at all on these. My tier 9 is currently scrapping. This one's a tier 7. 116 per hour is what that would mine at. So not good at all. And then vice versa, the new ship does not mine old latinum very well. So a little bit of a one-trick pony here, you know, compared to each other. You can still get the Devores, obviously, through the loyalty chest. The 30-day loyalty chest will still give you 10. So basically, every year you can get a new Devore. You can also get BP sometimes through other chests. I think sometimes they come in the Armada packs here. That's our new content, right? It's mining. Not the most exciting content. Not a good way to start. Starting off an arc, and then you're kind of leaning towards uh, 35 and up. Fortunately, not real good for the lower level players. I'm sure there'll be some stuff for them to sort of get involved. And as we look around, some of the other things they are adding here, Dry Dock G. They just stuck this in somewhere. This will not be available for a few days still. You'll have to buy it in the store. It will not come with an extra defense platform because they don't want base rating to get harder. And you will have to purchase it, but they're not releasing it right away because this weekend, I think per the calendar, is we have a Quark Event, like a no, that's the wrong one. Those are the patch notes. This is what I want. So we've got these Quark leaderboards here, where it involves you spending Latinum or spending G3 to G5 on commons. One coming up this weekend That's for an avatar. Here's one here as well. Quark test for resources. Looks like they're doing this twice. Spend G3, uncommon or better. Be a leaderboard, probably for you to get more than just avatars. It'll probably also have officer shards and a way to try to get him. But I'm sure, from what we hear, anyway, is that what they didn't want to do was release the new thing and then everybody spend all their resources tearing up that extra dry dock. Okay, well that's one way of looking at it. I mean, if you do it again later in the month, everybody will have it by then, and then they'll all be, I guess, on an equal playing field. I guess giving more people a little bit of extra time to purchase it, so they didn't have to buy it right away, because you will have to buy it, um, or at least make a free one. Give everybody a free fair shake at it first, and then give the whales or dolphins or whatever tier spender you are in this game the option to purchase that extra dry dock, and then you can spend resources tearing it up. The other things they've got for sale right now, so you could get the full unlock of the ship. Also, depending on what level your Devore is, you could do a partial scrap. I think if it's like tier 7 or tier 8, you can get half the. I think it might have to be tier 8 to get. You can get half the blueprints, and then you can just buy the other half for $50 instead of trying to wait and spend grind to get all those extra Devore parts. And then you've got your battle pass, you've got your regular $20 one, as always, and then you've got your $100 one that gives you a third of Quark, along with some extra recruit tokens, independent credits, more multi-phasic credits. Um, depending on where you place in the leaderboards, you might need these extra 33 Quark shards. If you're not really likely to compete and place high, it's what they're saying is like you won't be able to get them strictly from free to play, as we've gotten officers in previous arcs. Maybe the rare officers you might be able to unlock through the monthly events, but not necessarily going to be able to get Quark that way. So either you'll have to buy the bigger battle pass to get the extra shards that you'll need, or you'll have to be really competitive in the leaderboard events, trying the auctions basically, trying to recruit him. Um, I know I'm sitting on an upgrade here for that final component that I need to finish off tier 6 of my auger. So that's a quick 8,000 resources, which should hopefully get me some points and get me up on said leaderboard. And then I can actually tier it up. And then I believe the next tier is mostly rares it's going to need. So I think I should be in decent shape. I might not need to have to buy the expensive battle pass. I can just get the $20 one and then take my chances. I don't know that these Quark mining officers are a necessity to have right away anyway. They're not game changing the way like an honor guard Worf was, or even have the PvP aspect the way like Gowron and Martok and stuff did, where you kind of want to get them right away because there's ways to use them. Um, this isn't an attractive kind of start. This is mining. Mining's not sexy. So you're looking at some good resources, good opportunity to stock up on stuff, to build up your base, to upgrade your ships this month. The other thing that you also notice that they are giving away for some of these events are these gravimetric scanners, which you then get to use in an event store. So again, you get to kind of pick your rewards a little bit, which is kind of cool. So you've got some options here. These are 5 different ways to spend. Again, your standard resources are bundled together the way they always are. So you're guaranteed to get the resources. All these on the top level you're guaranteed to get, and then you've got a chance at getting some of this stuff. And if you look at the Quark 6%, the other guy's 14%. So you've got a 20% chance of getting an officer shard, uh, 20% of getting them, a 10% chance of getting Latinum. So you've got a 70% chance of getting a 15-minute speed up as your bonus. Come on, at least make it like an hour speed up or something, you know, useful. 15 minutes. You are limited to 50 of these also. So either they're going to be selling more of these, or you're going to be able to get a whole bunch of them throughout the month and the events. Just have to figure out what exactly you'd want to spend it on. This is 1850. If you bought all 50 packs, you'd get 1850 of your G4. I mean, so this stuff also does scale per level, so you guys won't be seeing the same exact packs. But for me, it would be 1850 of one particular resource. The other option, of course, is to get more away team stuff. These are all guaranteed to get the speed ups. Again, they don't give them out any other way, really, except in packs. And then the last option is territory stuff. So if you want to do more research, this is pretty low. This is kind of a low cost benefit ratio. I would not buy these. This stuff is decent for if you're an active territory and you need this to turn boosts on. Although there's no reactors in here. There's diodes and emitters, and then cores, which nobody needs. I wonder if this was a mistake and this was supposed to be reactors, because these are the ones you need to turn boosts on. Cores you don't really use as often. Usually you've got a crap ton of these piled up, and you're needing these and the reactors. But then this 4,000, 3,900. That's not very good when all your researches cost once you get past the first handful of tiers, they all cost 100,000, 125,000, 150,000 a piece. 4,000 is not really doing a whole lot for you. I'm most likely going to spend mine on the gas dilithium pack because like I said, I think I've shown this in previous videos. The buildings just get ridiculously expensive, and all of these pretty much all require gas to upgrade. And 43 R&D, which lets you move a whole bunch of other researches, like some of your efficiency researches. You're looking at almost 11,000 gas to upgrade that. So that's most likely where I'll be investing take my 1850, get a little bit closer, because if you want to do all of your other buildings, shipyard, scrapyard, and all that stuff to try and move yourself ahead towards Ops 44. It's going to require the dry docks, so here's another paywall for you, because it's going to require dry dock D, which is going to require you to upgrade all your docks. Not necessarily the defense platforms, though, just the other dry docks, I think. Let's take a look. Dry dock D. I'm behind on these, so we're going to be here for a while. Dry dock D requires dry dock C. C requires B. B requires A. A requires 4,500 crystal. Awesome. So yeah, definitely need to push the ops, the R&D to 43. Unlock those additional efficiency researches, kind of make all these buildings cost a little less. And then I can start playing around with that stuff. But going to be at 43 for a while. Going to be at 43 for a while. Probably through this whole arc. Maybe if I'm lucky by the end of this arc, I'll at least be in a position that I can think about going to 44 in a couple months. But I'm not optimistic about that. What else can I say about this monthly arc? We're not off to a great start here with it. Still no free amalgam, so if you haven't bought one yet, they took it out of the store this morning right before the reset. I guess they didn't want to have multiple ships up for sale. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to try and scare people into buying it. I know it worked for me. I bought it this morning because I was hearing again no free to play method to get it. It's going to be a little bit longer still. So I went ahead. I bought one, and this thing's going to take forever to do anything with to level up. because you can only do the refinery every 3 days, and you get like 2,000 or 2,300 parts. And looking at the amalgam that I was using, you know, what do these cost? 1,300, 1,800, so that's 3,200, 5,000, 6, 7, yeah, 7,000 or so. And if I can only do 2,300 a day, we're talking about like 2 weeks just to get out of tier one. So without spending, they've really kind of limited you down on that. So as far as other events go, event stores, not really much else going on here. You've got the new missions that you'll get the keys for throughout the battle pass. How many are they giving out here? 20, 40, 60, 70. Are they giving you all 70 in the battle pass? I hope so. 10, 30. Yes, they are giving you all 70 in the battle pass. Okay, these two side missions are together at the end on milestone 16. Okay. Thankfully for the rare Armada directives, I'm sure we'll need those again throughout the arc, so it's nice that they're giving you some of them. I'm sure we'll get lots of these things, these gravimetric scanners, through the daily events. That's where you're currently got those today. Sad they brought these worm. They keep throwing these worm events. You know, Doomsday Hostiles. This was just to kill Battle Pass to get the Battle Pass points. The War is good for profit, or War is good for business. One here was given out some of these. I still got to finish that up. One kill short, basically, for 200 more of those. Get that later. There's also an Alliance milestone that's given out some of these as well. So and it's a 4-day event, so that should give your Alliance plenty of time to complete their different daily events, get their points, help your Alliance out, or you can just kill extra stuff and get the points all yourself if your Alliance isn't very active. And then you got this solo leaderboard, which all requires you to build the Devore, which gives you 200,000 points, and then tiering it up is good for another 75,000. And mining concentrated latinum is worth 1 point per mining. And looks like we got a bunch of people who so there's 11 people who have it so far, so they must have purchased it, because you can't speed up the scrapping. And the scrapping, I mean, other than Alliance helps, of course. The scrapping takes 18 hours, unless, depending on your research. Obviously they'll vary a little bit. Mine was about 18 hours to scrap. And then with Alliance helps, it got down to right around 15 hours. Um, so that started that about 11 o'clock this morning when the event went live, and they kind of told you a little bit about it. They put it out a little early, which was nice to give everybody, before the reset, at least a little bit of a head start. This will finish up around like 3 o'clock in the morning for me, so I'll wake up and have a new Devore parts that I can then start building the actual Devore, and then I can sort of get involved a little bit in this event and see where it goes from here. Checking out the other parts of the rules of acquisition. There's not a whole lot that we see going on here. Obviously it's a nice little different ways of like getting latinum, stock up on resources. This is going to be very mining intensive, not so much PV. I mean, it may encourage a lot of PvP if people are fighting over mining nodes, or if people are going over protected cargo, depending on what your server's rules are about that kind of stuff. Obviously, it might trigger a lot of PvP that way. You might start some fights over some resource nodes, particularly some of the juicier ones out in deep space. Get your ship going. Spend materials, spend latinum. So if you're spending latinum in place of common resources, or if you're spending latinum to speed things up, Um, that's certainly a possible way there. So that's nice. It's a nice little Ferengi nod to it. Here's your Armada one. Federation, Romulan, Klingon, and pirate targets below level 45 will do. So no hitting Eclipse armadas this time around. Rares and epics, Fed, Romulan, Klingon, pirate ones. So the ones in neutral space, the 38s, 39s, in neutral space you can hit, and 45 and below. So you can't go into the far out deep space systems. But the mid-range ones, the ones that are like ops warp like 75 to 90 or so, should be able to do it. So I think that's all we got going on here for this month. Kind of a little bit of a lackluster way to start off the month. Start off the new arc, but maybe we'll see some stuff. Some of these events may be cool. Maybe we'll get a special Valentine's Day, event. We did the Riker Troy Picard Beverly one, I think last year, where you got some extra shards and stuff that way. So maybe we'll see. Well, I don't think Quark has a girlfriend or anything. So, oh wait, that Klingon chick that he was married to. There you go. Maybe we'll introduce her here. Thanks, Olympus. Appreciate you watching the channel. But there's, yeah, obviously that's my take on everything that's going on. I hope you guys enjoyed the arc. Maybe it'll be a nice little way to catch your breath a little bit after some of the furious and frenzied events that we had in Duality. And this will be sort of a recover, rebuild, restockpile your resources, and go from there. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Hope you have a great night, and see you around the galaxy.